your school rumor that damaged someone beyond repair? I was 16 when everyone started whispering about Mr. Pete, our school janitor who supposedly threatened kids in detention. My friend Jake pulled me aside one morning, eyes wide. Dude, stay away from Pete. My cousin said he cornered some sophomore last year, started asking weird questions about where they lived. The whole cafeteria went quiet whenever Pete pushed his mop bucket through. Teachers would suddenly remember urgent meetings when he entered their classrooms. Even the principal sent out a memo about maintaining professional boundaries with all staff. I watched Pete during lunch. He worked silently, head down, never making eye contact with anyone, but something felt off about the whole thing. When I accidentally dropped my tray near him, he just stepped aside without a word, didn't even look up when I apologized. I paid attention to Pete over the next few weeks, and what I saw made my stomach turn. Not because of him, but because of everyone else. Students would deliberately knock over trash cans he'd just emptied, laughing as garbage spilled across freshly mopped floors. The staff held maintenance meetings without him, discussing his own job while he worked alone. Parents cornered the principal daily. Why is someone with his history allowed near our children? But here's what didn't add up. Pete stayed hours after his shift ended, fixing broken lockers and wobbly desks with his own tools. I found encouraging post-it notes on my locker during exam week. "You got this," in careful handwriting. The special needs kid's favorite swing got fixed overnight when the school said there was no budget. Mary told me Pete reported the seniors who were stealing her lunch money, but never took credit when they got suspended. Everything changed the night I stayed late in the library finishing my history project. The building was empty except for a few teachers grading papers. I was packing up when Henry appeared, a dropout who still hung around campus. He reminded me about a debt I owed him. He grabbed my backpack, yanking me forward. That's when I heard the squeak of wheels. Pete appeared with his cleaning cart, positioning himself between us like it was the most natural thing. "School's closed. Time to leave." His voice was calm, but there was something in his stance that made Henry step back immediately. "We're just talking," Henry muttered. "Talk somewhere else." Pete didn't move, didn't blink. Henry looked at him for a long moment, then backed away. "This isn't over," he told me before disappearing. The next morning I was called to the principal's office. "Why were you alone with Mr. Peterson last night?" she asked. My mouth went dry. If I told the truth about Henry, word would get back to him and his friends. I knew I would get caught because I owed him, so I told her I was just leaving when he showed up. She leaned forward. "And what exactly happened when he showed up?" The way she asked made it clear what she was hoping to hear. "Nothing. He was just cleaning." Her disappointment was obvious. By lunch, the story had morphed. Teachers whispered about Pete following me to an isolated area. The school board announced a review of his employment. New security cameras appeared overnight. Finally, I heard Mrs. Hughes tell another teacher. Proof of his inappropriate behavior. 2 weeks later, everything exploded. An anonymous tip claimed Pete was dealing drugs to students on campus. Police searched his house at dawn while his family watched. They found nothing, but the damage was done. Parents flooded the next board meeting demanding his immediate termination. Someone leaked his address online. His teenage daughter Abby called in sick for a week straight. Kids at her school had started calling her dad a predator. The janitor who'd protected students for 20 years became the monster everyone needed him to be. I found Pete the day after his termination, sitting alone in an empty chemistry classroom. He was just staring at the periodic table, shoulders slumped. 20 years keeping kids safe, he said without looking at me. 20 years, gone in one day. His voice cracked. "You're the only one who ever said thank you for those notes." I sat down beside him. "Abby won't even look at me anymore. Says I ruined her life by trying to help people who'd throw me away without a thought." He finally turned to face me, and I saw tears. "Want to know the truth about detention threat everyone talks about?" I nodded. "That sophomore they say I cornered? I caught him cutting himself in the bathroom. Stayed with him, talked him down, got him help. His parents were so embarrassed they made up the story to explain why their son was talking to the janitor." He pulled out his phone, scrolling to old text messages. "Still checks in every month to thank me, but I can't show anyone these without betraying his trust." He stood up slowly. "There's something else you need to know about why Henry ran that night in the library." My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" Pete looked at me with eyes that had seen too much. "I know things about this school, things that would destroy everything if they came out, and certain people know I know." He headed for the door, then paused. "Check the old basement storage room, behind the 2019 yearbooks. You'll understand why they really wanted me gone." Full story linked below.